Matt. It is a pleasure to be here. And you all might have virtual backgrounds, but this is my reality. I don't need a beach, at least not in the summer. Winter, marvelous idea. I'm delighted to share with you tonight a bit about shifting and changing our perspective. In 2012, I set off to fulfill a dream. It was one of my greatest adventures. I was headed to Miramichi, New Brunswick, to a friend's wedding by myself, just Susie and me, my motorcycle. This is when I headed out. I had 4 weeks to prepare for this epic yet exhilarating journey. I thought I was doing pretty good. Was pretty confident. I had a cell phone. My bike was well equipped. I was ready to go. But I quickly learned when I hit the Canadian Shield, there's no cell coverage on the highway. And there are a lot of signs that say, beware of moose. Apparently moose are a big black hole that appear in the highway if you're out late at night. It was exciting. It was both thrilling, but I had some fears. But one of the things that I've learned in life is that you still feel the fear, you got to shift a gear and make a change. And I did that a lot as I toured as I went across the country. Many curves, few intersections, a bit of rain along the way. But it was on this journey that I learned about blogging, and I started off on Twitter for the first time, engaging in something that was a little bit different than what other people had, my introduction to more social media platforms. Question for you, are you on any social media platforms? And if so, what are your favorite ones? Do you want to put them into the chat box, please? And Matt, if you're able to, if you could read some of them back once we get a few up, as I can't see anything when I'm now here, sharing my screen. Are you comfortable on them? I'm quite excited because I discovered this year a Toastmaster from Denver, Gretchen Vaughn, has started a Toastmasters tweet chat. And we're gathering with Toastmasters from all over the world. It's a brilliant experience and learning about speaking in that format. Social media for good. I'm all about that. Matt, do you want to read me a couple of the responses, please?
Yes, certainly. There's got responses such as, I'm on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Now that's more than I could do. Many people here seem to be on Facebook and comfortable. LinkedIn, I'm likewise. TikTok, although you maybe get banned. Twitter, we've got an answer here. Not really, but I enjoy it. From Brenda, I love TikTok. People dance, give me recipes, gardening tips, all in 1 minute. A good response. Let me have a look what else we've got here. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, none. So some of us avoid social media.
Yeah, it's a conscious choice. Thanks, Matt.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to share with you a little bit about why social media is so important. In a survey done in I believe it's 2016, I'm just going to move this if I can. I can't move it. Okay, this survey was done in 2018. There were 25.3 million social network users in Canada. By 2023, it's projected to grow to 27.1 million people. Out of all the Canadians online, the social network has 67% penetration in January 2019. And I suspect that penetration number of the whole people that have internet availability, that number is growing as we've entered into quarantine. As Toastmasters, we have a tremendous opportunity to share our message because we are working with a well-established brand. It's been around for almost 100 years, almost a household name in some locations. A lot of people that I've talked to said, oh, I thought that organization didn't exist anymore. But we know more than that. Because we've experienced the benefit of it. In 2008, if you looked at the internet and you did a survey of what was happening all over, you found out that there wasn't one cohesive thing about Toastmasters. It looked like one thing over here in this area, over here it might look very different, and just next door they might be having a totally different kind of look. So Toastmasters International set about rebranding and pulling everything together to create something that was cohesive. Yes, our clubs have a very unique in personalities, and that's why each of us belong in different areas. And we find ones where we fit more comfortably. It might be soft but firm mattress that we like, but we may really like a firm mattress. We'll find a club that fits our personality. But we need to stay connected to the brand. A strong brand tells one story about the organization. An ineffective brand tells many. And that's what was happening prior to 2011, when in August 2011 at the International Convention, Toastmasters International introduced the logo and the tagline that you see in front of us. This now is the official brand that everyone's supposed to be using. If you have an old banner, you're only allowed to be using it at historic occasions. It can sit at the back at your meetings. However, it is no longer supposed to be in the prominent position. You are supposed to be using this. Next question. How many of you were aware that Toastmasters had set out a new brand manual this year? Do you know how to annotate? No, I'm not going to do that. Just pop it into the text box. Let me know if you were familiar with the new brand manual.
It seems that you've told one or two people about it. Lots of no's here. Yes, I am. Ruby's very aware. Capitals. Of course. She's shouting from the beach. Tammy, no. It seems to be the trend there that majority of us didn't actually know there was a new brand manual around there, Marcy.
Okay. So it has really been simplified and is very clear, the directions that are here. You find it at toastmasters.org under resources, and that'll take you to the brand portal, and you can find it here. If you are creating any communication with regards to Toastmasters, please look at the guidelines here. It provides you not only with color palettes, but it talks to you about the tone that we're supposed to use, because the brand is not only the logo, it is everything. It's our voice, it's our tone. It helps us, it provides us visual guidelines, it tells us about the images and photography. It made me very sad because I talked with some Toastmasters who were really excited about creating explainer videos. We can't. It's animation. And animation in our guidelines is verboten. Unfortunately, very sad, but it is the guideline, and it's what distinguishes us in creating and doing this. If you're going to put something up as your visual representation, you can use the logo, but don't alter it with colors. This makes for some nice reading on the beach. If you're wanting to perhaps come off the beach and are feeling a little bit tired, it might put you to sleep, but it'll provide you the guidelines that you need. Also, as we engage in more videos and move forward, it has video guidelines for us. It lets us know about our website, what we're supposed to be able to do with that. It talks to us about intellectual property and much, much more. You may need to shift gears and to become familiar with the new terrain we're riding on. But remember, we're all Toastmasters ambassadors. Dr. Smedley told us that the first result of speech training is self-discovery. How much have you learned about yourself since you became a Toastmaster? I find this journey, and especially the leadership opportunities I've been in, have taught me a lot about myself and have showed me areas where I need to grow, especially in my soft skills, Randy. There's a way that I just like to plow ahead at times, and it doesn't work so good. So that just kind of moves on. Every member interacts with the Toastmasters brand in a variety of ways. It might be communicating with new prospective members. It might be about building new clubs or rebuilding our clubs. It might be about the materials that we use for reaching out for district conferences, for training sessions, or in our club meetings. All of those make a difference. So we need to go with that message to wherever our avatar is. That's the person that we're wanting to reach out to. Are they on LinkedIn? I heard that a number of us are there. A lot of us are on Facebook. Some people are on YouTube and really building a great following there, or on Instagram, on Twitter. Meetup is another great place that you can find people. Last year, our district marketing committee, led by Ryan Repshin, spent time identifying our avatar, who our avatar is. Where do you think you could find them? Most likely to find them. Do you want to pop that into the chat box? Any ideas? Matt?
Yes, so we've got a number of responses here. LinkedIn, us, a TM Resources page. I was thinking here within Toastmasters environment, but there's a lot of feedback here for LinkedIn as well.
Yeah. Well, Toastmasters advises us that they're most likely to be found on LinkedIn, as they are young professionals, often beginning at the beginning of their career, or professionals in transition mid-career looking to up the game. Last May, we tested it out in May, June, just prior to doing our spring conference. And what we learned is it appears they're right, that it is that primarily female audience and in the 30 to 50 year age range. It was really exciting to be able to see that. We learned that shifting gears helped us to maneuver the road smoothly as we considered what direction we were going to head in. Okay, I'm going to jump here to Tammy. Facebook is the dominant social media platform in the world, with businesses having access to almost 2 billion people per month in doing that. Just an idea of what occurs. On LinkedIn, Tammy is fitting in with our perfect demographic here and the people that she reaches. When we posted, we put this post up, it reached it had 776 impressions. There was only one share of the post. However, there were 76 people interacted with it. 133 people clicked on it. So each time that somebody made a comment or interacted, it brought that back up in the news feed again, so that more people became aware of it. So if you see something, make a comment, put a like. It puts it back into the cycle, and people know that Toastmasters is still out there, and Toastmasters are making a difference. Another example of what happened was when our very own Amanda Price put this up on Fleurs' Facebook page. There were 3 shares, but it reached 782 people, had 159 engagements. There were 8 comments on this. But it shows, ooh, that was nice. Bug in my hair. That's what happens when you're on the beach, Randy. You can get bugs. They could crawl all over you. Anyways, this is another indication. We don't know what people are saying, but when my friends reacted and responded, there's a different conversation about Toastmasters. They know I'm active in it. They know that I'm doing something new, and it opens the door for me to have a conversation with them and invite them to a meeting. I've had several come to the meetings with me. When we share what's important in our life, it comes out and people come and are more open to hearing what might happen. This post was one of the ones that we did collaboratively as a team when we were preparing for our virtual conference, D42's Connect the Dots Virtually, in June. This was our final destination arrival where everybody had been connected. And I don't know if you saw the campaign, but it was a campaign with ladybugs throughout. So we threw the bug in at the end. There's a couple of great articles on our website telling you both about the experience and what was learned through it and some of the things that were accomplished as a result. Once again, we reached 847 people, a definitive number that we can measure that return on investment. We can see the engagements. Here we had 9 investments, and this is the 2 different ways that it appeared. I'd like to share that for Fleurs Final annual celebration in June this year, Ruby Gunna led the charge, and with her team, she was really focused on creating something new and building engagement. The event was Rising to Higher Ground. She announced with a media announcement, put out Matt, who I believe was doing a level 5 panel, as one of his projects. He put in, we had 357 people were reached. There were 47 engagements with 4 shares. Another post that Ruby and Amanda created together was showcasing who the panelists were. In this one, we had 413 people engaged, reached 60 engagement, but with only 2 shares. The point is here that often our engagements are maybe 12 people on with our Facebook page. With a really focused effort with only 2 shares or 4 shares, we were reaching hundreds of people to make them aware of what was doing and a great opportunity to become involved with Toastmasters and discover something new about what happens beyond the club. One of the exciting things that was in addition to learning how to Zoom this year, I had the opportunity to learn how to live stream on YouTube and upload it to YouTube. But more exciting than that is that our YouTube subscriptions raised by almost 150%. That's great news that people are more engaged with us, hearing the message, able to see it from the convenience of their home. And there's lots of cool things to check out there. This is the report that is provided to me from YouTube about what was happening. 41,000 minutes watched. That's a lot of watching. We had 49 new likes, 270 comments, 309 posts, and 38 shares. People are doing that. When we do that, we know how we're expanding and getting our message out. And that's kind of exciting for me to know that what we're doing is sharing something positive with the people that are out there. What I want you to know is you only, when you're riding, you shift down once and all the rest is up. So if you're getting down, or if you think it might be too much, you might just need to step back, shift down a bit while you learn the things, but then it's just going to be up and up. And when you get the wind flying in your face, avoid bugs with the proper gear, and you'll have a great time doing that. The importance of social media for us as an organization comes about with the power of two. You tell two people, and if they tell two people, and they tell two people, and then they tell two people, and the math is here for you, because those of you who know me know math is not my thing, that I can have a problem. Also some technical challenges at times too. But when we tell two and they tell two, when we take what's being shared with us by our clubs, by the district, it really makes a difference to how the message of Toastmasters is getting out there and how people perceive us. One of the biggest things that I've learned was about a year ago when I attended a Womanition event with a Toastmaster friend of mine. And one of the speakers there told me this, and it's very important for us to remember. Please know you cannot be a secret and a success at the same time. The two things just do not jive. I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity that social media provides. Perhaps shift some gears in how you're looking at it. Lean into a curve. Consider the intersection. Should you go this way or should you keep going straight ahead? Whichever way you go, keep the shiny side up. Mr. Toastmaster.